Hello, this is Journey to Music Mastery, doing another review. We're doing the logic behind music today. Now, I was pretty excited for this course because it's got such a huge price tag. It's $800 for the whole course, which is it's quite a lot. So you'd expect it to be really a high quality course, and I think it is a high quality course. It's quite similar in a level to about a college level course, and in fact, I've spoke with their managers, and that's mainly who this course is actually for. I will say for beginners or less serious piano players, this is probably not the course for you. This is, this is probably not worth the huge investment if you're not really interested in an academic level of music theory understanding. Um, we have some. If you are a beginner, or if you're just a casual piano player, you just want to learn some songs, we've got some recommendations. I won't say them here in case some new courses come out or they change, but I'll provide a link for you to go to and take a look at, see if you can find something better for you. For those of you who are looking for an academic piano course, you're in the right place, and I'll take you on a little walkthrough of what you can expect with this course. This here is the application that they have. It's for the course. It basically gets you into you can access this area. This is the community building area. This is the forums. This is the chat rooms. This is you can post music and get people will comment on it, give you advice, tell you how you did. So there's a lot you can probably get out of this. It's there's some of it is still quite active, some of it is less active, but you can check out, new students are popping up all the time, hopping in. This was recorded September 2020. Here we go. We'll take you to the main lessons. So this here is the introduction. It'll tell you exactly what you're going to find in each section. Section 1, taking your piano skills to the next level. This is all basic music theory stuff, understanding intervals, how they turn into chords, how they make scales. We can jump ahead a little bit to it. Now this is all, if you know a bit of music theory, these first couple chapters are fairly basic. I think the main key takeaway that I got from it was they really solidified creating music is about creating tension and releasing that tension. And they talk about how, really your brain pleasure centers start firing all this pleasure when tension is released. So the whole point of music is build tension and then release tension, and that's why people enjoy music. And this is something that I have known, it's been said to me, but this course really brought it to the front and solidified for me. That's probably the biggest takeaway I actually have from this course. They go on into explaining more of the different ways they can do things. These are it's a somewhat interactive course. You can play the music. There's different things you can do with it, and each section has a chord progression at the end where they play through each interval. Hopefully you can hear the sound on my recording. But if not, you can hear the sound as they play, or as you click on the keys and as you click play. This is, their marketing really loves pushing the Forbes quote that it's a future of learning to play piano, but that quote was from like at least 8 years ago. This is basically a textbook that is slightly interactive, but you'd get the same effect from having a piano right next to you, which I highly recommend as you take this course. Have a piano next to you so that you can play around with what they're teaching you. Let's go on to the next section. Music is a balancing act. This is what they're talking about. Music is the balance between creating tension and relief. So important to remember when creating your own music. They spend a lot of time explaining how music is how different scales are important to know, and how it's really like different types of music. They're really just, it's a different scale that they're teaching, that they're using there, and thus different chords and different ideas come out. Okay, let's go down here. Mastering the language of music. Key to composition improvisation. That's where they talk about chords, what chords to use, different things. Improvising your first melodies. Again, this is all fairly basic stuff. If you're an advanced player, it's always good to go back over this kind of thing, just to remember, the things you learned ages ago and haven't thought about in years, possibly. The dark side of music goes into the diminished chord. They tell you interestingly about the why it's named the devil's tone. Oh, not this one. How the tritone. I think that's an earlier lesson. They explain where it got the name, the devil's interval, which is quite a good story. I won't spoil it here, but you can definitely look forward to that if you buy this course. Becoming a musical chef. Becoming a musical chef is, well, from about part 6 onwards, they start really getting into how to effectively compose music, talking a lot about voice leading, how to get from one chord to another. A whole section on voice leading, which was great to go back over. I'm sure probably you've heard of the idea of voice leading before, maybe only in passing. They really cover it really well. Talking about what chords fit together, and then here they just come back and tell you again at the end. So now we're gonna go take a look at some of the extras that you get along with buying this course. Because once you finish the course, it's 120 pages. I think we're on the last one here. Let me get you to the last page so we know. So we know for sure. 130 pages in this whole book. Really excellent overview. Okay, so here are the practice booklets. Basically, these are generally computer-generated exercises. See, this one's pretty simple. You just go through it shows you the different intervals, how to play them. It plays them for you. This is good if you are a little unsure and you want to practice these with a little bit more support. You can use this. Probably it's not entirely necessary for most people, but if you want that extra support, it's useful. This one, they go through all the chords, all the major chords, every single one. Again, some people might find this useful, other people don't. This is the type of thing that courses can generate these with a computer, so it's quite a low cost to create this kind of content, but it sounds really cool when you're selling a course. So this is why you run into all these different advertisements that are like, our course has, when you buy our product, you also get access to our 10,000 chord book. that they have. It's super easy to generate this type of thing, and it sounds really impressive when they tell you all these different things you're going to get it with it. So there's quite a bit of this. I don't know if the practices are so good. They'll give you good practices in the actual core textbook. These are just more like a reference book for you. This one's piano book practice book 2. It's about the same, but we'll go into different intervals and then different chords and scales depending on where you are in the textbook. Content practice book 2. Okay, we're going all the way through that. So now practice book 3. How to practice on your piano, practicing the new tritone chord. Yeah, here they give you some decent like exercise advice. But then most of the rest of the section is this type of generated example chords for you. Or example intervals, whatever. Practice book 4. All the spices, they just go through every interval. Again, it seems like a lot of content, but really it's just generated reference books that might be helpful for some people, and then for others it's not going to be. You can just do this on your own. Most of this you can do it on your own once you learn how to do it. And then here, so the practice books are designed to be done with the actual course. Here they just have enormous reference books of all the scales. They'll show you they'll show you all the scales. It doesn't tell you the fingering, which is a bit unfortunate, but you can usually figure it out anyways. Scales, intervals, all the major third intervals. Again, you just count for the intervals, so this book is not super useful. Here we get into they have a book for jazz and blues. They have a book for composing cheerful music. They have a book for melancholic music, and they have a book for dramatic music. And these are all they go through the scale that you would use. And this looks like a lot, but it's actually it's one scale that they then generated 20 pages for, They just moved it over and explained it with the new keys. Pretty much all this text remains the same with some minor changes, but the idea is the same. Could be helpful. Not everyone's going to need that. This is where we get into the bonuses that are actually quite good. This is ear training. They play a tone. Again, I hope you can hear this, but maybe not. Oh no, I'm getting all of these wrong. Oh, there's in unison. Well, they play the tone and you guess, and you'll end up with a certain amount of correct and incorrect answers. Super useful. Let's see, level 2. Yeah, as you get better, they introduce more intervals for you to try to guess. They have the same thing for chords. Here's the lowest level, where you're just doing major and minor, and then as you go up the levels, master, inversions they've added. Now they've added a whole bunch of different. This is super useful. Ear training is one of the most important and underutilized skills in a musician's practice. You can find these online. People just make these. Whether or not you can find a good one is another question. This one is definitely a good one, and a nice bonus onto your course. But so there's your training. You can learn scales as well. They also have a sight reading trainer, which is similar. You basically fudge, right? They just show you the note and you have to try and guess what it is. Bass clef. As you level up, ultimate note reading challenge. It changes whether you're a bass clef or a treble clef, which is gonna throw some people off. I'm quite sure. Throws me off for every time. Master keys. Let's see what happens. Oh, you have to figure out what the key is. So again, this is quite a useful tool if you want to improve your sight reading. You want to, this is the type of thing you do this 5 minutes every day, and a month or two later, you're just an amazing sight reader. That's the ear training, sight reading. Here is the elite membership, which just gets you into like the forum area. Yeah. That's basically all of it. That's basically all of this. You've kind of gotten a view of what it's like. It's basically this. It's a textbook with a little bit of interaction. It's quite a good textbook, but just know when you're buying this course, you're buying a textbook. If you're looking for something more interactive, there's piano playing apps that you can learn songs on, or if you're a beginner, this is definitely not for you. This is definitely a music theory course if you just want to learn how to play Happy Birthday, or I don't know, whatever pop music that you're into. This is going to be way too much for you, and you probably won't even get through the first or second section. If you like music theory, and you want to learn more about music theory, this is a great book. This is a great course. I definitely recommend it. At $800, it's a pretty big commitment. I'm not sure if I would actually buy this for myself, knowing what's in it and how much it costs. But it might be right. It might be just right for you. Anyways, that's my review of the course. I've shown you everything I think just about inside. And hopefully this helps you make a decision. Anyways, this has been Journey to Music Mastery. Have a great day, you guys.